Guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing this 2022 Chevy Silverado 3500 HD High Country.
And huge thanks to Raul and the rest of the management and staff here at Furman Chevy in Brandon, Florida for making this review possible. These guys have an impressive dealership. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or truck in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Raul.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Silverado has been one of the top-selling trucks in the American segment since 1999. That's when the first generation was released. Here we have the fourth generation heavy-duty 3500 single rear wheel High Country, so top of the line when it comes to the 3500 HD Silverado. Just a single rear wheel, so don't expect the best towing capability. Still super impressive. With the gooseneck, we can tow about 22,000 pounds. The 3500 HD is available in two different engine options, both of them being 6.6 liter V8s. One naturally aspirated 2-valve per cylinder, making 401 horsepower and 464 pound-feet of torque. Here we have the 6.6 liter turbo diesel, making a much healthier 445 horsepower and 910 pound-feet of torque. Enough to get this 8,000 pound full-size truck, heavy-duty truck, to 60 as quick as 7 seconds, which is really a no-joke number. This High Country is also relatively loaded when it comes to features. We get the Z71 off-road package. The Duramax diesel alone is almost a $10,000 option. Power running boards for about $1,200. This greenstone metallic paint, which is beautiful. All optional features. We also get the long box with this crew cab 3500 HD with a fifth wheel gooseneck, which we'll all check out in 1 second. After all the options and features here, we have a total price coming out to around $82,000. What do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, you notice your flickering LED daytime running lights, not actually flickering in real life. I'm really liking the LED lighting pattern. Up top, we get the turn signal. I really like the light pattern for this heavy-duty Silverado. This greenstone metallic paint also really shines in this Florida sun. Hopefully you guys can pick it up. Functional hood scoop, Duramax badging on the side of the hood with your Allison transmissions. This transmission is, of course, a 10-speed. Turn signal right outside. The grille lets in quite a bit of airflow. Forward-facing camera beneath your massive Chevrolet bow tie. Chrome tow hooks, fog lights right outside of them. Little chrome for the front protector, front parking sensors too. No skid plate, which is a little bit odd for a Z51 off-road package. We do get a skid plate underneath the oil pan, but other than that, I don't see a whole lot. We can take one more step back. Hopefully you guys can pick up the front styling of this 3500 HD. As far as the wheel and tire setup, we can hop over here, and the first thing I notice, outside of the massive lift that we get here for the Z71 off-road package, we also get 8 lug nuts, really specific for this heavy-duty truck. Additional side sensor for the parking sensing. These rims are 20 inches wrapped in 275/65 R20s, and with these all-terrain tires, they should be super capable both on and off-road. A little bit of plastic cladding surrounding your wheel well. This truck does get 4x4, massive tow mirrors, zone lighting too, and 2-piece mirrors with blind spot monitoring for this High Country. The lower portion kind of shows you what's going on in your rear wheel area. Power running boards, 3500 HD badging, chrome for the bottom portion of the window trim. Everything's body color up top. Blacked out B-pillar. The window sticker is going to be pretty hidden, pretty tough to notice since it's so high up. I'm going to be pretty far away from the microphone. But of course, we have the 2022 Silverado 3500 High Country 4-wheel drive with a greenstone metallic jet black interior. Duramax 6.6 liter turbo diesel, Allison 10-speed. Base price $67,600. We get about $12,000 in total options, starting with an almost $10,000 turbo diesel, $1,100 running boards, power sunroof for about $1,545 for the gooseneck out in the tailgate. Z71 off-road package for $321. Twin tube shocks are included with the off-road package, as well as skid plates. However, we don't really get one for the front. Multi-flex tailgate for $260. A couple credits for features that can be included aftermarket. GVWR 12,250, so we have a payload capacity of over 4,000 pounds. After all these options though, total price sitting right at $82,000. As far as environmental performance, it really doesn't tell us a whole lot. It says as far as the cleaner area, C-, cleaner for C+ for the smog rating. Kind of reminds me of my grades back in college, but they always say the C's get degrees, so not a big deal. The gas cap, it's not a push to open, but you don't have to pull the latch inside. Of course, diesel fuel only for this Duramax diesel. Same rear wheel and tire setup. We get quite a bit of wheel gap, so you can see your dual twin tube shock spare tire, massive leaf springs, heavy duty rear differential too. You could probably check out the drive shaft. This vehicle is so lifted off of the ground, but hopefully you guys can get a good look of everything that's going on down there. I'm liking that additional side step, which can help you access some of your stuff in the long bed. And since this is a long bed, you can put like a nice little tool tray back here, and that side step becomes extremely useful. Additional splash guard out rear, additional bed step, which again, super useful. Great tailgate for these Chevy trucks, and with this multi-flex tailgate, absolute game changer. LED for the taillights, halogen, turn signal, and reverse light. As far as the tow hitch, we get about a 12,000 pound conventional tow rating and a 22,000 pound gooseneck. So really impressive. Shout out Furman Chevy in Tampa, Florida for making this review possible. Rear parking sensing, Silverado high country badging, Chevrolet bow tie, and the multi-flex tailgate, as you guys know, super useful. You can open it up. If this bed is not big enough for you, you can extend it just like this. Throw some really long things into your long bed, and if that's not enough for you, if you want to put like a super large ATV back here, you can extend it like this as well, which is really long. This is probably like a 10.5 foot bed right now with this extension, and it also of course functions as a step, which with this step, this is one of the easiest tailgates to enter out of any full-size truck, especially heavy duty in the business. For a heavy duty truck, I don't even need that railing. I could step into this tailgate so easily without the railing. It's truly impressive. We get a rear view mirror camera too, and a fifth window. High country badging inside of your spray in bed liner. You can get a good look at your fifth wheel setup. In bed lighting, which is LED. AC adapter in the left corner. Nice. Take out this handle, you just lift it up, gives you a nice little support on the way back down, which you really don't even need because of how easy of a process this is. Put this stick away, lift the tailgate right back up, drop this, and we can take a step back, get one last look at the rear styling of this 3500 HD High Country. Notice your massive exhaust tip, and speaking of the exhaust tip, let's start this 6.6 liter Duramax up and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was of course the sound of the 6.6 liter turbo diesel sold by Chevy and Duramax for this 2022 Silverado 3500 HD. As soon as you figure out the latch, which can be a little bit tricky on these heavy duty trucks, but we figured it out. Of course, we get struts. No idea how I'm going to lift that hood back down because that thing's like 10 feet off the ground. Basically a slam dunk to reach. But other than that, here you have it. Your 6.6 liter Duramax making a really beefy 445 horsepower, 910 pound-feet of torque, enough to get this massive 3500 heavy-duty truck to 60 around 7 seconds, which is a no-joke acceleration time considering the weight of this massive full-size truck. But other than that, what you see is basically what you get. You get a couple additional supports in the corner, so we'll see how this truck handles. It's obviously not going to handle as well as the 1500s, but we'll see how much of our handling we compromise. But other than that, we can take a step out here, shut this hood right up. It takes a little bit of effort to get it on your first try. That was my second try shutting this hood. We could take one more step back, get a good look at that light pattern, massive grille. As far as the interior for this top of the line High Country, let's take a step out here and really check it out. Again, we get the blind spot cameras, zone lighting, and the massive trailer mirrors. As far as the interior, smart access for the driver and the front passenger. Nothing out rear. But taking a step inside, you see your power deploying running boards, which are an option. As far as the interior itself, you get the super soft door panel, very soft armrest, wood trim, auto one touch for both the front windows, still power windows out rear, power folding mirrors, and they're four-way adjustable, two-person memory seats, good resistance for the chrome aluminum door handle, lock and unlock, massive storage. It's still pretty solid when it comes to the graining material. You can fit two 20-ounce bottles in here and a foot long right next to it. Bose premium sound system, high country badging, fully adjustable seats with a lumbar recline, drop, lift, and slide. The seats themselves are high country specific, kind of similar to the updated Silverado, so definitely a thumbs up. Perforated, heated, and cooled. As far as the interior itself, we could take a step inside and really check it out. And first thing we notice is the steering wheel, basically the same thing as the updated Silverados. However, we do not get the electronic gear selector. It's still that old school column shifter. Up top, we get really nice stitching for the dashboard, the little gold aluminum trim surrounding your touchscreen. As far as the screen itself, it's a pretty sunny day. Hopefully you guys can still pick it up. You got to go home, continue, check out the Nav Screen, which is also a pretty high resolution. We have a plastic screen over the touchscreen right now. It's a brand new truck, but I'm liking it. Pretty good resolution and very responsive. Of course, we get the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but what you see is basically what we get. We get the trailering controls, which is nice. You can see the status of the mileage, fuel economy, electrical connections, trailer guidance with trajectory for the backup camera, which is also impressive. Guys, this is a really loaded vehicle. It doesn't look quite as luxurious as the next updated version of the heavy-duty Silverados, but still impressive. You can take a look at the cameras once we go right over here. So we get a 360, excellent resolution for the forward and rear. We get a backup camera too, forward facing right up front, and we get guidance lines, trajectory over the top for the front view, over the top for the trailer view, and a front 360 too. Press it one more time, you can check out your blind spots so you don't have to worry about curb rashing these massive 20-inch rims and our trailer cameras right to the side. Pretty impressive, guys. But other than that, we can just go right back home. My personal favorite screen to look at all times would just be this nav. Beneath, we get the buttons for the shortcuts, dual zone auto climate control, cooled seats and heated seats, which you can isolate for the back and your butt, exhaust brake, which is a good feature for this diesel truck, so downhill you don't have to strain your brakes too much. Turn these cooled seats down by a couple. Parking sensors you can disable. Tailgate release is hydraulic, not electric, so it doesn't go back up, but it does fold down automatically. Hazards, traction control, in-bed lighting, hill descent control, so it controls your transmission and you get an exhaust brake. And this button extends your running board so you can access your bed even easier. Trailer brake control, USB-C, USB port, 12 volt, and an AC adapter. Nice features. Wireless charging pad, nice spot for like 2-3 iPhones right next to it. 2 cup holders and a square spot, good spot for a pack of cigarettes. And we get a pass-through, which is a good spot for a cell phone. Pretty large cup holders too. I'd expect you to fit 20 ounces in there, no problem. Wood trim, additional storage beneath. Hopefully you guys can get a good look at your pedals. The steering wheel controls include the cruise control, of course, heated steering wheel, voice commands, and the infotainment adjustments. As far as the gauges, we get a 4,500 RPM tachometer, 140 for the speedometer. Up top we get our auxiliary gauges with our oil temperature, oil pressure, gas level, voltometer, and the coolant temperature. Drive, two-wheel drive information right next to it, which is adjustable right here below your trailer mode controller. We get 4-wheel drive auto, high, 2 high, and 4 low. Fog lights, auto headlamps, of course, parking brake, hood release. Hopefully you could get a good look at your pedals. And no power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. The latch is right beneath the wheel. As far as the infotainment adjustments, you can see your DEF level, off-road information, fuel filter life, brake pad life, air filter life, tire pressure, which is pretty high. Wow, that's some pretty high pressure for these tires. Oil life, trip 2, trip 1, and you can adjust between the home screen with a digital speedo, traffic sign recognition, and gas level. We can check out our music, heads up road, which is nice, so when the GPS is connected you get a little heads up, turn by turn, and overall settings. You can adjust the display, speed signs, compass, home, speed warning, the whole shebang. My personal favorite to look at all times would just be this digital speedo, but I'm liking it, guys. As far as the center console area, super soft, very similar to what we have from the updated Silverados, probably the exact same thing. You can open her up, absolutely massive. It actually looks larger than the new Silverados. I'm expecting you to fit a 6-pack of 2-liter bottles of sodas. It is that large. You get USB port, USB-C, and an aux port. We can close this thing up. As far as the glove box, we get the 2 tiers, not the updated design, but we could probably still fit 2-3 pairs of gloves back there. For the lower tier, it's a larger glove box. Here I'm expecting you to fit 20-25 license plates. Nice and large. As far as the mirror, it's actually not a camera mirror. That's just your in-bed lighting or in-bed camera / lighting that we saw on the third brake light, but still pretty large. Auto dimming, it's not quite frameless, but still nice. 3 garage home link settings up top. We can open up the sunroof. The shade does not open up automatically. It opens with the sunroof, but it doesn't close with the sunroof. Then it's all manual. We could poke our way out of here. Pretty beautiful day right now in Brandon, Florida. It's sunny and about 80 degrees. Really can't complain. We can shut the sunroof right back up, and it slides. We get the 5th window, which also opens up on start, but that's about it. We'll leave the shade open so when we hop out back, you guys can get a good look at the light brought into this cabin. But that's about it for the front seat, guys. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the materials. All right, guys, hopping out back in the 2022 Silverado HD. We still get the super soft touch materials for this entire door panel. Auto one touch for the way down. No auto one touch for the way back up. You got to press and hold. Wood trim outlined in aluminum. Solid storage beneath. You're easily fitting the big gulp in there and a foot long right next to it. Additional one of your Bose speakers. Running board continues out rear. We'll push these floor mats out of the way so we can step inside a little bit easier. But actually, before we do that, let's check out these seats. First, we'll put this little center cubby away. We get some secret storage in the seats, just like the 1500s, and you can lift these seats up just like the 1500s, and reveals a flat floor. So in an emergency situation, you can sleep with a sleeping bag back here in your 2022 Silverado HD. Takes a little bit of effort, but we're used to it by now when it comes to folding the seats back down. We can hop inside, we can grab onto the door panel, or you can grab onto this crap handle and pull our way inside of this pretty tall truck. And as far as space, massive. Pretty similar and competitive to the 1500, but I'm sure you get a little bit more space in the heavy duties. Mat pockets behind both the front seats, USB, USB-C, 12 volt, and 2 cup holders up top. Air vents too. I'm liking it. It's basically flat floor too, so it would be pretty comfortable to sleep here at night. And the center cubby has a string to it. Nice resistance, soft leather. You get 2 rubberized cup holders with a pass-through, good spot for a phone in this little square compartment. Pretty good for a pack of cigarettes or whatnot. But other than that, the interior lighting is LED. Good light brought into the cabin thanks to that sunroof. But that's about it for the interior and exterior of this all-new 2022 Silverado Heavy Duty. Before we take this car out for a drive, or truck out for a drive, let's just walk around it one more time. Of course, the side profile on this absolutely massive heavy-duty beast. Huge cab, long bed. What a beast to look at. As far as the front end styling, also impressive. You can hear that little school bus idle, kind of reminds me of that, but I can't wait to take this thing out for a drive. Pretty impressive. And if we haven't mentioned yet, the grill says High Country in the right corner. But that's about it for the interior and exterior of this all new 2022 3500 HD Silverado High Country with the 6.6 Duramax. Let's take it out for a drive. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of this all new 2022 Chevy Silverado 3500 HD with the 6.6 Duramax. Let's take it out for a drive. And again, this isn't like the updated version of the Duramax. Next year's version will have 500 horsepower and 1100 pound-feet of torque. But let's see how it is right here, because you can probably get a pretty sick deal on one of these compared to the future 2023s. The steering still feels directly on center, just like the dually Sierra that we reviewed. As far as the low-end torque, about half throttle. Oh my gosh. Wow, low-end torque in this thing is really impressive. I guess we'll check out the high-end horsepower. The brakes are not very impressive, similar to the dually from the Sierra that we reviewed. We'll lean into it a little bit right here too. Right here, third throttle. Wow, that thing has really good low-end torque on the brakes. And we got the roundabout coming up, so we'll check out this truck's handling. The steering feels great. The torque feels real great. There's a little bit of body roll. The ride quality feels comparable to the 1500s. A little bit better. Yeah, a little bit better ride quality to the 1500s. You sit a little higher up and there's noticeably more body roll, but as far as like the turn in, throw it in faster than we should. Pretty sharp. The steering is definitely longer than the 1500, to be expected as far as the ride quality. These huge bumps, wow. This Z71 off-road package really soaks those bumps up, wow. Yeah. Throw it in a little quicker than we should. Yeah, the steering is definitely noticeably longer as far as like a rolling acceleration on the gas. Oh, once that boost kicks in, this thing is gone. And not like the softest, gushiest ride by any means, but it eats these bumps up very well. You can definitely feel the ruggedness and toughness out of this suspension. But I'll throw on the POV camera and try to give you guys a first-hand look driving this truck, and I'll catch back with you in 1 second. All right, guys, taking a step out Just light acceleration. Yeah, the torque feels extremely strong. We'll throw it into this corner. The ride quality, you definitely feel the bumps. But right here, check this out. You're not gonna be doing this in most of the 3500 trucks. Look at that. Barely any body roll in that really sharp turn. And as far as an off-the-line acceleration, looks like we have a chance. We're not just gonna floor it because it will spin the tires. No question about it. Actually, let's just throw it into four-wheel drive auto for this acceleration to avoid any wheel spin in the dealership car. But right here, four-wheel drive auto on the gas. Boost. Oh yeah. Woo. Yeah, this thing can get up and go. And with the four-wheel drive auto, there was a little bit of turbo lag. You had to wait for the boost to kick in. But in two-wheel drive, we would have likely just roasted the tires off the line. But right here, we can throw right back into too high. No need to have it in four-wheel drive. Wait for it to set up in the transfer case. Looks like we're good. And setting back out in the heavy-duty Silverado on the gas. Yeah. I'm liking the way this 6.6 diesel sounds. It does not sound like a school bus. During idle, it certainly does. But once you start listening to that induction note, it actually sounds surprisingly throaty, throwing it in. A little bit of body roll, definitely more than the 1500 to be expected, but also a lot less than I was expecting. It handles the big bumps extremely well. You feel the little bumps. I kind of wish you didn't, but as far as big bumps, oh my gosh, I don't even know what's in there. But right here, check out these massive craters in the road. We'll hit them way faster than we should. Boom, boom, wow, what a beast of a truck. Ooh. One more time, throwing it in a little bit faster than we should. Wow, the body roll is so limited in such a massive beast of a truck. But you see what I mean? Those are little bumps, and you definitely feel them in this truck, whereas vehicles like the Ram 1500, they do a much better job of limiting the little bumps. But this thing eats those big bumps up seriously well with the Z71 off-road package. All right, guys, stepping out onto the multiple lane highway, we can lean into a little bit right here on the gas. Woo! Yeah, this thing can pick up speed like no joke. And as far as just like highway speeds, the steering feels a lot lighter on center compared to the 1500. But other than that, it's pretty quiet as far as the windows. We don't get dual panes, but it's still pretty quiet in here. It's pretty easy to keep this thing moving in a straight line. Right here, little turn. Yeah, the steering is not quite as on center as I would like, but it's also not bad. We can turn around, head back to Furman Chevy in Brandon, Florida. All right, guys, we could try out a real world U-turn right here, see if we can make it with this long bed. It's definitely a long turning radius, that's for sure. But right here, on the gas, one more time. Yeah. Woo. Yeah, not a whole lot of power up top. You really feel that power mostly down low, but it still feels really strong. 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. I can see it. It might feel a little bit closer to like 7.5, but really nothing to complain about. We can take this thing back to Furman Chevy in Brandon, Florida. And again, huge thanks to them for making this review possible. If you're looking for a new truck or SUV or car in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for Raul, all in all, this is an impressive truck, guys. This engine feels very strong. It's a proven Allison transmission, proven 6.6 liter Duramax, and it's going to be updated for the next model year with more power, about 55 more horsepower, and almost 200 more pound-feet of torque. It's going to be 1,100 pound-feet of torque in the new updated Duramax. So if you want to wait for that one. If you don't want to wait, you probably get a really good deal on this outgoing 2022 Duramax 3500 heavy duty. And all in all, I want to give all of you a huge thanks for watching. I had a great time making this video. This is an impressive truck. I love driving these GM trucks. They feel just so commanding. You have such a commanding view of the road. The steering feels so on center. So you just have such a great, like, confidence inspiring ride in a vehicle this large. We reviewed the dually version of the 3500 Sierra, which is basically the same thing as this. It was the Denali, so basically a high country 3500. But it was a dually version, and even still, it felt a lot smaller than it really is. Right here, I'm gonna have a pretty good time parking this thing back in its parking spot. But other than that, this vehicle does feel pretty small. And again, huge thanks to all you guys for watching. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know I have endless gratitude for all the subscribers. You know, the channel is just not possible without you guys, and I really have a huge appreciation for each and every one of you and your constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars or trucks you'd like to see it reviewed in this channel too. Let me know what the trim levels are, and I'll definitely try to get those videos for you as soon as possible. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.